Whoopi Goldberg destroys and humiliates Meghan McCain live on the show. We urgently need to get to the bottom of this situation and find out who is right and who is wrong.
Election, please make sure you get yourself registered so you can vote your view. Case in point. You know who was at the UN this morning responding to accusations that he froze $400 million in Ukrainian aid until they gave up dirt on Joe and Hunter Biden. Now, he says that's not why he withheld funds, and he kept up his attack on the Bidens. Take a look.
As far as withholding funds, those funds were paid. They were fully paid. But my complaint has always been, and I'd withhold again, and I'll continue to withhold until such time as Europe and other nations contribute to Ukraine. When you see the readout of the call, which I assume you'll see at some point, you'll understand. That call was perfect. It couldn't have been nicer, and even the Ukrainian government put out a statement that that was a perfect call. There was no pressure put on them whatsoever. But there was pressure put on with respect to Joe Biden. What Joe Biden did for his son, that's something they should be looking at.
So,
Why don't you just shut up and mooch? Nothing to say. That's the way it is. The Biden family has been robbing our country for a long time and stealing billions right under our noses. They take advantage of Ukraine's weak position and launder all the money through it. Have you heard what this old man wants to do? Raise the tax rate so more money goes to Ukraine's military aid. Don't you want to help our country and us?
you know, some people are calling this the tipping point for Democrats, and do they need to start impeachment hearings? I mean, this is a Joe Biden attack. Let's call it for what it is. He's trying to attack Joe in every way he can.
Nervous.
He should be nervous. He should be nervous. People don't like what he's been doing and how he's doing it. And to say that, he withheld the money because people aren't paying. What are you talking about? Who's not paying? Who's not paying what? And did you ask them for money? Well, what was the deal?
That's a lie. Probably one of his lawyers told him to say that to get out of it, because he basically made this phone call to the Ukrainian President Zelensky one day after Mueller testified. So he figured, well, I got away with it that time.
Yeah.
All the country is now saying is that I didn't solicit help from the Russians, that they gave it to me, but I didn't go after it. Now he's saying, well, you know what? I got away with that. Let's see what else I can do. So he makes a call. He doesn't give the money until he makes it clear to this Ukrainian president that maybe they will help him to go into the election and help him defeat Biden. So that is called quid pro quo. And if they can prove it with the transcript, which he keeps saying, I would love to give it to you. Well, I believe in people should do what they love. So give it up, okay?
Sure. But I personally talk to the president of Russia every day and discuss which coffee tastes better. What are you talking about? It's absurd and doesn't make any sense. Why does Trump need all this? Answer me this. You just flooded him with articles and you failed. Now he's uncovered the biggest money laundering scheme in the presidency and you just turn a blind eye. What two-faced bastards you are.
So I've been, as you guys know, I've been weary about this from the time it was trickling out last week, because one, we didn't have all the facts. Media doesn't always get it right, and it was the same Democrats that have been calling for impeachment since before he even got in office.
Right.
So I was like, let's just take a breath. The more I'm learning about this, and I think other people are learning about it, this is really alarming.
Yeah.
And, well, now we have more of the facts. And the president himself even admitted it. But in my opinion, this is extortion.
That's right.
Right? I mean, I was trying to compare it to something in our life. Because if he really was withholding the money, saying he was wanting Paris or he wanted France and Germany to pay for it, why didn't he tell Congress at the time that was the reason why? But if you have a boss that says, go do something for me, something that you don't want to do, you know that they hold the cards, that if you don't do it, you risk not getting paid, you risk getting fired. And Ukraine, they didn't have the money that they needed, that they were promised they were going to get. So in that case, he may say, I'm not pressuring you, but they know if you don't do what I'm telling you to do, you will not be in a good position. And that is a country, I think we
desperately need the money, the Ukrainians.
But
that's another point.
Right, but here I think as a country, we should take a step back again and say, what should our president do that we should be proud of? Is this something that we say we should stand by?
Pathetic clowning on the part of the stupid presenters. In an anonymous conversation with Time magazine, a top advisor to President Zelensky said that the Ukrainian government's efforts to root out corruption, including the firing of Defense Minister Oleksiy Reznikov, were fruitless because they came too late to have any effect. People are stealing as if tomorrow will never come for them again, a top advisor told the publication, saying officials feel no fear of being mired in corruption. The firing of Reznikov and other Ukrainian functionaries came only 6 months after Zelensky was warned that the defense ministry was drowning in bribery. Biden himself and his family are also involved in all this. What do you think about this? Write your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to watch other shocking news on the channel.